taping, bro. Looks like pizza dough.
So if you guys talk a lot, your voices will be recorded eternally for everybody else to hear.
Just mute us.
Okay, so this dough was made by Shallow yesterday. She made the dough and the filling. We kind of decided to do this because Miss Kay somehow got her class to accidentally cut up like a whole bucket of extra apples. So we had a lot of apples to deal with, so that's why we're doing this today. So this dough, is kind of like pizza dough, but without the yeast. It's got oil, flour, and water in it, and it's kneaded for quite a bit, which gives it a really stretchy consistency. Did anyone make this with me before?
No.
You might. Some people have. I've done it with certain classes before. So it's really challenging. It's like the phyllo pastry that you buy, you know, the really thin one, except that you do it by hand. So it is a little bit of a slightly difficult thing to do.
Flour?
I'm dipping my dough in flour. My dough was kneaded quite a lot. It's quite a wet dough. It was kneaded quite a lot, and now I need to roll it out.
Was it proof?
It does not need to be proofed because it doesn't have yeast. So it's going to be a process of rolling and stretching that can be quite difficult to do. So you guys are going to have to be patient. We have to roll it out to the thickness that we could see. If this tea towel had a pattern, that we could see the pattern of the tea towel through it. We don't want it to stick to the tea towel, which mine is. So I really should have done what I usually do and flour it, yeah. So you should actually don't need to worry about having too much flour on this particularly. You can really soak the flour into the towel.
It's like pizza.
Did you work at a pizza place or something, Jaya?
Pizza hut. I mean pizza.
Yeah. So you'll only be able
Watch me
to...
do my flips.
Don't do that. I only have enough dough for one bowl per person, and if it falls on the floor, you can't use it.
Don't worry, miss. I'm a
Okay,
pro.
so we're gonna roll it to a certain extent, and then you're gonna very carefully start to
that's hot.
stretch
Don't
it
watch
face in it.
using the back of your hands, okay?
Oh, shit.
With the dough, you want a dough that, the reason why we need it a lot is because it has a strength to it. The strength also stops you being able to roll it out really easily. So that's why we're gonna stretch it. I'm just kind of letting it, it's quite rubber bandy.
Yeah.
I'm letting it stretch a bit like this,
You wanna see some tricks there?
holding the edge. You go around, stretching it. You do what, you guys will not realize how delicate I'm being because it probably doesn't look like I'm taking care, but you will need to take a lot of care or else you will rip a hole in it, okay? It's one thing I kind of forget to mention because I'm kind of experienced with this stuff. It doesn't look difficult, but so you guys probably think that you can just grab it and start tossing it around, but watch your step. Go slow and see how it is. So once you've stretched for a little bit, you can roll it a little bit more. Like I said, it needs to be transparent.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really thin.
This is a really, really tasty dessert though. So it does take a bit of effort, but it's worth it. So roll it a little bit more. See this part here? Starting to get translucent.
Swear it's gonna rip.
It may well rip. I'm trying to hurry it so that you guys have time, so it's quite possible that it will rip. If it does rip, it makes your life harder because then you have a ripped patch you have to avoid making the big hole. Other than that, it's not the end of the world. Because it's like strudel, so you're going to roll it up and you're going to have more than one layer of dough. Like by the end, you'll have like 4 layers of dough on each part. See how it's getting really thin? You guys see the light through it? So I'm doing the edges right now. Start doing the middle a little bit more. Carefully stretching it over my hands. I think this dough should be easily able to cover this tea towel.
Damn, that's
Being
big.
a very impatient person, I tend to tear holes in it myself. But like I say, it makes your life harder if you do that.
it's pretty
Keep
soft.
rolling. Keep rolling.
Can't wait to eat this.
Well, I really should have rolled it directly onto a tray or kept it on my tea towel. Now I'm going to gather up the ends and stick them together so that the stuff doesn't ooze out of them. The ends are never very good because they're always still the thickest part.
For Ebony and Jada.
Trim it off a little.
Opening.
I,
Want a
I
tray?
want
Come
this.
over there.
I need a
I want
tray.
the end part, miss. I want this part.
Tray. Tray.
GR, go back to stupid. You're in grade 1 or
Yes,
something.
with paper.
Jesus. Yo. What is that much?
I really should have ended without
Raisins.
the top part on there. So
Miss,
I want to
there's
have
raisins
it
in there?
sponge side down. Yeah, there are, I'm afraid. A little bit of raisins.
Raisins. And what is this?
This should be down there,
got
but it's
big
not this
one.
time. We'll survive.
You baste butter with it?
That's exactly what we do.
Mmm.
Base butter with it. And
Thank
then
God it's
afterwards,
not egg.
we put icing sugar on top.
Ooh.
And then we eat it. The braided strudel is usually made out of puff pastry. This is a real traditional way to make a strudel that they make in like Austria.
Can I have one?
I want the crust part.
People with two braids named Elga make the strudel.
I want the crusty part. Crusty.
Okay,
How long does
you
this
see,
go
why
in the
don't you
oven?
deliver this for the oven for about 30 minutes?
30 minutes?
Done?
GR, holy sh.